It has to be said, AI is dangerous for some football traders, not because it doesn't work, but because most traders are using it completely wrong. And in this video, we'll be going over some of the main dangers of using AI to trade football, but then showing you how to overcome them, all backed up with real life football trading demonstrations, which will reveal how to make AI your edge and not your downfall. Go grab a nice cold beer or a shot of bourbon and let's get into it. Yes, it's the 2020s, and that means that we use AI to do pretty much everything for us. However, the big question we need to ask, is AI dangerous for football trading? And I'm going to dive into this a little bit in this video because I've seen some stuff recently. And one thing to point out is AI is not a magic bullet. AI is a tool, and AI is always going to amplify the trader that you already are. If you're already a good trader, it's going to make you an even better, more optimal and faster trader. If you're a bad trader, it's going to make you even worse. So as said, look, use AI wrong, it's absolutely going to cost you. And let me just go over some of the main dangers of AI as to where we stand at this very moment in time, because of course technology is always moving, always improving. But currently, one of the big dangers of football trading with AI that I have seen quite a lot in the past 6 months is a lot of football traders almost turning their brains off and outsourcing their brain to the AI. So yes, it's great that the AI can give us the analysis. However, you still need to place the trade. You still need to follow the match. You still need to track the game state and make your trading decisions in play. However, I see a lot of traders who just say, well, the AI said to do this, okay, let's dive in, and they're almost blindly following the AI. And if you think about it, we would never do that in a million years with anything else, would we? But for some reason, when it comes to AI, there's a lot of people who would suddenly, as said, outsource their brains to the AI. And it's not just in football trading. You're seeing this a lot in many different industries all across the world, with people not really thinking for themselves anymore. So it's very, very important to look at AI, especially something like the football trading genie, as an assistant. It's not going to trade for you. You still need to make the executive decision with the actual trades themselves. It's a little bit like that show, The Dragon's Den. You are the investor. The AI is presenting you with a potential investing opportunity. You still need to decide whether you're in or you're out. If you watch Dragon's Den, they're not going to say they're in on every single investing opportunity. So the AI is giving you some good ideas. It's still down to you to make that decision. So you do not outsource your brain to the AI. You still need to make the final decisions on a lot of these trades. Now, number two is that AI is built to give you an answer. If you've used any of these LLMs like ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude or any of the other ones that are out there, you will know they are all trained to respond to give us an answer to something. And so no matter which way you do it, whether you use the football trading genie, whether you use a different AI to try and find trades for a match, there is a very, very high chance that AI is always going to find a trade for you and not actually say no trade, which again means you have to go back to number one and you have to do some critical thinking about the trade that the AI is presenting you with. And it needs to come down to whether you look at the trade also and think, okay, this makes sense, let's do it. And that is something we're definitely working on with the football trading genie already. I've seen it come up from time to time where it will look at a match and it will say, well, for this one, sometimes the best trade is no trade, look to trade something else. However, with the way AI is at this current moment in time in the 2020s, it's still always going to try and default to try and give you something, and to find a balance between it really giving you a very, very good idea and just giving you something just to keep you happy is at the moment quite tricky with AI. As said, AI is not the magic bullet that many assume it is, not just with football trading, but with a lot of things that are out there. So it's important to be realistic about what the AI can do and what it can't do. And again, use your human brain to make the final decision on whether you follow the trade or not. There's plenty of matches out there, and you can always find more suitable, more optimal matches to trade. The other one is that AI cannot trade live yet. Anyway, so again, a lot of the analysis that AI is going to be giving you, whether it is the football trading genie, whether it's people doing their own AI stuff on ChatGPT or on Gemini or something like that, keep in mind it's still going to give you the pre-match analysis, which is great. However, as we know, the in-play is still going to be the biggest thing to take into account when you're trading the actual match. XG can swing in minutes. There could be a red card. There could be some sort of tactical shift. And the in-play requires human adaptability. So the AI can't trade live yet. And we put that yet in because obviously AI is developing at a very, very fast pace. By the time you see this video, it could be trading live. Who knows? But that is something we are working on behind the scenes. We're trying to test using the Genie to follow the live markets and to trade live. It's not far off, to be totally honest. However, at this current moment in time, you still need to make those in-play live decisions. And this is why we showed you the AI plus XG stack system. We've shown you this before. The AI is your entry intelligence. The XG is going to be your trade management and risk control. This is the more human element of it. So you use the AI to enter the market. The AI could give you a great trading idea. As said, if you like the sound of the idea and you want to invest, you say, I'm in, you open the trade. If you don't like the sound of it and it's not for you, like in the Dragon's Den, you'll just be like, hey, I'm out on this one, and you'll go and find another trade. It's still down to you to guide the trade, make the decisions in the moment. As said, AI will amplify the type of trader you are. If you're a pretty good trader, it will make you even better. If you're not a very good trader, then yeah, you're probably going to lose money even faster. So that is the best thing to keep in mind with regards to AI, the AI plus XG stack system. AI is for the entry, the XG is for the guidance. So anyway, we're going to dive into some real life trading examples, and we're going to show you exactly this. I'm going to pick out some trades using AI, trades I like the look of, and then we're still going to trade them using the human element, okay? So let's dive into that right now, but before we do, it would be great if you could just click the like button. If you do like this sort of content, you want to see more of it, hit the like button, and YouTube will probably send you more videos just like this in the future. And if you don't want to miss a future video, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell also. Let's dive into it. Some real life football trading examples using AI. We're going to be trading this match from the French League 2, and we're going to use AI to help us trade it. Looking at these teams, I know absolutely zero about them, so we're going to turn to the AI to run all the research for us, okay? We're not going to dig into the form of these teams. We're going to let the AI crunch the numbers, and it will give us the most optimal opening trading strategy for this match. That's the idea, okay? It's going to crunch all the numbers for us. What would normally take you 20 minutes is going to be done within the next 20 seconds. And so I can already see suggesting the entry into this market should be laying under 2.5 goals, entering after 15 minutes, and then another 50% of our stake 20 minutes after that. So let's get set up. So I've got set up. We're going to be obviously laying under 2.5 goals. First entry was at 15 minutes. So we've estimated that under 2.5 goals probably be priced around 1.5 at 15 minutes. And then again at 1.3, which will be the, what was that? The 30th minute? Let's double check. Hold on. Okay, so the next entry point would actually be around 40 minutes. So we're actually just going to adjust that and just go in a little bit lower then, 1.25. And anyway, that's in the market. It doesn't have to be too accurate, and obviously we can just keep an eye on this, and I will adjust the stakes if it doesn't quite fit there around the timing. But anyway, that's the plan. Let's see how this one plays out during the match. So we just had the opening goal in this one on the 33rd minute, so that meant that our next lay order didn't get taken. So anyway, it's 1-0 to the home team, and just plugged in the data. So look, this was how the XG looked. Obviously, that goal was due, and then we just had the goal. So now puts us there. We don't have any goals overdue. Depending on how aggressive you want to be, you could obviously let this run maybe till half time, see if you get another goal. But in this sort of league, French League 2, goals can be a little bit hard to come by. So let's not overcomplicate this. Let's just get the profit locked in and move on, especially if we're on the over and under 2.5 goals. So obviously one option could be to create that free bet. And you could still do that if the XG picks up in the second half or something like that. But we're going to keep it simple. So anyway, we're out on this one. Obviously, the AI gave us the entry, which was to lay the under 2.5 goals around the 10th minute, I think it was. Got in there. And then we had our next lay order. So it was spread out during that first half. But in the end, we got the goal and we just took the profit. So simple as that. Football trading made simple. We're out with a profit on the 37th minute. We're going to trade this match with Crystal Palace against Chelsea from the English Premier League, and we're going to use AI to help us trade it. You can see here, this is how the market looks. But anyway, head over to the Football Trading Genie. You load up the same match, Crystal Palace versus Chelsea, and you just click on Best Strategy, and it's going to give us what it feels the best, as it even says it here, the best possible angle for this match. Okay, so we will check out that best possible angle. And obviously, if you agree, then you can trade it. If you don't like the look of it, you can move on to check out another match and so on. So let's have a look at this. So it is suggesting we're looking to do a back to lay on Chelsea. Okay, so this is based on the probability of Chelsea being the team that will take the lead in this one. And as you know, as football traders, yeah, back Chelsea. If they take the lead, that price will shorten. So anyway, let's get set up. So we've got involved here, backing Chelsea here, 2.18. So it's a nice price. I always like it when it's above evens on a back to lay. And as you can see, we've got a stake in the market. The idea is that we have the AI to tell us that this is the best possible angle. We will use the XG and the in-play stats to confirm that we are correct, and we will trade from there. So anyway, we'll give you more updates in play on this one. Crystal Palace against Chelsea just about to kick off. 35 minutes on the clock and Chelsea have just taken the lead. So as predicted by the AI, Chelsea take the lead and their price will crash in. Let's just press the cash out button to get it locked in. And the price has crashed in and we're going to get £68 locked in. Fairly early goal in this one. With the amount of green we had on Chelsea, it would have been a little bit better for that goal to arrive late on for them to take the lead. You'd lock in more green, but as it stands, quite a lot of the match to play, and yeah, you can see this was how the trade played out. And those spikes in the odds, these are people laying Chelsea off also, so there's obviously a lot of other people who followed the same trade also, probably not using AI. Now just to show you, I also could see the goal coming, so I did lay under 2.5 goals because the XG pressure was rising. So just going to lock in that trade also, just get that locked in. And obviously that's what you got to do as a football trader. You're not just going to rely on the AI, enter the market, cross your fingers and hope for the best. You're going to adapt. The great thing about entering on the goal markets is that if Crystal Palace were the team that took the lead, at least you've got a bit of green to soften the blow against that potential loss. So that was the idea anyway. But anyway, it worked out good because Chelsea took the lead and we've got it all locked in. £68 on the match odds market, £32 on the over and under 2.5 goals market. So it's £100 altogether. We're out. Crystal Palace 0, Chelsea 1. So as you can see, this is probably the best way to operate football trading with AI. You're going to go to the AI to get that trading idea. If you like the trade, you like the sound of it, it fits your risk reward profile, then absolutely open the trade. But then obviously use the XG, use the in-play stats, etc., to decide whether you're going to exit the trade, whether you're going to hold the trade, whether you're going to scale more risk into the trade. The AI is giving you the lead into the market. The XG and the stats are going to tell you whether you're still right. So that's the best way of approaching it. As said, do not outsource your brain to the AI and just follow it blindly. So anyway, if you do like the look of the Football Trading Genie, you want to try it for yourself, there is a link in the description of this video. This is your own AI-powered football trading assistant. You can scan the QR code also. This should be able to get you a demo of it. If it's available at the moment, you could be trading football with AI today if it's available. Okay, so as said, it's absolutely priceless as a time saver. It will give you the trading entry into the market, any match, any time. As said, you can click the link in the description or just scan the QR code. But anyway, I've got more real life trading demonstrations. Let's dive into more of those right now. We're going to trade Benfica versus Real Madrid from the Champions League. We're going to use AI to help us trade it. So let's head over to the football trading genie. Got the match already loaded up. Benfica against Real Madrid from the Champions League. You just click on best strategy and the genie will do the work. And you can just kind of kick back and relax as it does the work. And it's going to do all the research for us and find what it believes to be the best entry strategy into this match, the best opening strategy. Okay, a little bit like chess, where you're looking for your best opening, and then obviously you still need to trade the rest of it. But anyway, looking at this, very interesting. We're going to be heading to the first half goals market. You don't see this one every day. First half goals market, over 1.5. We back over 1.5 at kickoff from the looks of it. And anyway, let's go get set up. So it's an interesting one here. Okay, so you can see the over 1.5 goals price, 2.28. It does say to go for it from kickoff, but I'm going to go for it with just a little bit more added juice to it, just a little bit of a higher price. Okay, if the goal goes in beforehand, then there'll just be no trade. We'll move on to the next one, but I'm going to ask for a bit of a higher price on this one. As said, you don't have to follow the advice, the AI advice, completely to the letter of the law. You can always put your own little spin on it. But anyway, we're going to back over 1.5 goals. The idea is we trade out after the first goal. If there's no goals by 25 minutes, we go in on the over 0.5 goals as some sort of recovery. But anyway, we'll wait until we get there and then we'll get involved. We'll give you more updates in play. So it's 0-0 on the 25th minute, or actually 27 minutes. So we're going to go in over 0.5 goals on this one. And so this is the situation, 0.5 goals and the 1.5 goals. So we just need one goal to put us in a strong position in this first half. Let's see what happens. Well, the timing on that couldn't have been any better. Real Madrid have just taken the lead. So, yeah, anyway, 0.5 goals. That means that whole profit is landed. We only needed one goal. That was pretty much what was being encouraged to use as some sort of recovery. You don't have to necessarily use it. But obviously we were looking at the XG. We could see this match was building up. We could see the pressure was building up and it was looking good. So anyway, we've obviously landed profit on the 0.5 goals market. So we could trade out on this one. So we're just going to wait for these prices to settle. This doesn't quite look like it's the right price. So we're going to wait for this to settle. And then we'll look to just exit on this market and we'll just take the profit, which was obviously made from this market. So that's now closed. So let's just wait for this market to settle and we'll be right back. So we're still waiting for these prices to settle a little bit. But anyway, let's adjust this. And what we'll do, we'll just leave a free bet on the over 1.5 goals for Real Madrid. Oh, well, not for Real Madrid, just for the match overall, not necessarily for Real Madrid. And yeah, if we do get another goal in this first half, we'll land an extra £21 on this. But remember, we made the profit from the first half goals 0.5 market. And so we've pretty much landed what we were looking for. Now, if we do get another goal, that will be a nice bonus profit. We could lock it in, but we may as well just try and see if we can raise our profits a little bit. So that's it. Benfica 0, Real Madrid 1. 35 minutes on the clock. We just had the second goal of the match as Benfica have now equalised. So obviously we now land that extra profit of the £21 on the over 1.5 goals. So a very, very nice call from the AI to tell us to go for over 1.5 goals in the first half market. Very, very nice call. And in hindsight, now I look at this, remember we collected £100 of profit on the 0.5 goals market. We kind of had a risk-free bet at looking for that over 1.5 goals. I did trade out, but looking at it now, maybe we should have just taken that risk-free bet, looking for the over 1.5 goals and not trade it out at all. Anyway, it's landed. We've got it locked in. Remember, we've made 100 from the first market, 21 from this market, and That's pretty much it. So we're definitely out and we're done on this trade. Nice call from the AI. Benfica 1, Real Madrid 1. Manchester City against Fulham from the English Premier League. We're going to be trading this one. We're going to use AI to help us trade it. So let's see what the football trading genie says about this one for some sort of entry into the market on this. Already crunching the numbers as we can see. And looking like we're going for this. We're going to back over 2.5 goals. We're going to take insurance on the 2-0 score to Man City. So anyway, let's get set up on this. So I'm just taking a look at this market. So it did say 90% on over 2.5 goals, then 10% on the 2-0. So we've done that. We've got the 10% on the 2-0. However, this price on over 2.5 goals is very, very short. So I'm going to put in an order at a higher price on this one. I'm going to put it in all the way up to evens and ask for that. Okay, so I'm going to put that in as an order in the market. Now, obviously, look, if Man City score before the price gets hit, then, yeah, we won't get matched and it will be no trade. We will look to trade out on the correct score market or just take the 10% loss. That's a risk I'm definitely willing to take, especially if Fulham take the lead, then that 10% would be gone. But anyway, that's what I'm going for. Not sure if I really like that price of 1.46 on over 2.5 goals. I do like the price of even. So if I can get it, we're in the trade. If not, there'll be no trade. Let's see what happens. Man City against Fulham. We're going to be trading it. Let's see how it plays out. 16 minutes in on this one. It's Man City absolutely dominant. So I'm actually going to move and enter the market now. So let's just, what's the price there? Let's put it in at 1.75. Trying to hang in for evens on this one, but the way Man City have started is absolutely dominant. 5 big chances already in the first 16 minutes. So we're going to move this down and try and get in at 1.75 or even just for the benefit of the clip. Let's just move it and just get it in, just so everyone knows where we stand. And then there we have it. So anyway, look, yeah, we got in the market at 1.74, 1.75 in the end. I was aiming for evens, but do remember at kickoff it was, 1.45 or something like that. So we've already beat that price. We've already got a nice bit of value on it. And now let me show you on the correct score. The 2-0 is now priced at 7.2. We backed it at 10. So that was why I backed it at kickoff, to get a bit of that time decay. Didn't want to wait until now to back it, because we'll be backing it at a much shorter price. So anyway, yeah, we're in a good position. Man City absolutely firing. Fulham hanging on at the moment to this 0-0, and we're in the over 2.5 goals market with the 2-0 insurance. Let's see what happens. Man City 0, Fulham 0 on 17 minutes. 24 minutes on the clock. I said it was coming. The goal has arrived. Man City have just taken the lead. This is how the over 2.5 goals market looks. Now you can see the over 2.5 goals price has shortened somewhat after that goal. Let's click on that. So we wouldn't have hit the 2.0. We wouldn't have hit the 2.0. So I made the right decision at the right time to move and get involved. Okay, and so again, that's kind of a good example of what we're talking about in these videos. You might use the AI to enter the market. I went against the AI with trying to find my own entry point, but then watching the match, watching the stats, it was pretty clear that we needed to enter the market and enter the market fast, because yep, the momentum was all there with Man City and the goal was coming. So this is how the over 2.5 goals market looks. You could collect a profit on there. This is our 2-0 situation. That's still pretty much where we were before. Interestingly, the score has not updated on Betfair. Never ever rely on that, by the way. But anyway, yeah, this is where we are at the moment. I did say, look, if Man City take the lead, we're in a strong position in this. I'm not going to take any action. Let's try and see if Man City can make it 2-0. We're absolutely good in this. We don't have to worry anymore, actually, and we probably don't have to do any trading. So let's see what happens, though. Man City 1, Fulham 0. Almost got caught out by that. 30 minutes on the clock. It is now Man City 2, Fulham 0, and I just laid off the over 2.5 goals. So obviously we had £90 of risk. I just laid that off at 1.09. It wasn't recording, but anyway, here we are. So that's giving us a £58 of free bet on over 2.5 goals. Now, if we just want to be done with this trade, we could probably exit right now by pretty much exiting on the correct score market. So let's do that, which is basically cancelling our insurance. So let's do this. Let's get this down to a minimal loss on the correct score market. Because we've got these 2 goals quite early, we could pretty much cancel the insurance. So it's -2 on the correct score market. And then we're going to be +53 on the over and under 2.5 goals market, which will make us +51 altogether. So it's 51 profit locked in. And keep in mind, that's beating the starting price on over 2.5 goals, which was 1.45. Okay, same risk into the market, but we've beat it by, well, taking that higher price in play, having that insurance at the same time. And well, I'm just looking at this. I'm not sure if there's a VAR. Well, the markets aren't suspended here, are they? So I'm sure everything's fine. So anyway, look, our trade is done, unless the VAR is about to reverse everything. But here we are. So Man City 2, Fulham 0. It is Man City 2, Fulham 0, by the way. The score isn't up there. But, okay, yeah, nothing's happening with that VAR. Okay, we're good. We're going to lose. They're going to take that minus, or we could get this down even lower. Okay, so yeah, every little bit helps, as they say. So let's just do that. All right. We got this down to a £1.67 loss on there, and the 53 profit on the over and under 2.5 goals market. So we're exiting early. Okay, we don't have to let this play out. We can be done by, what, the 35th minute. We've cancelled our insurance. We've locked in a profit on the over and under 2.5 goals market. Very good call from the AI. We saw how the match developed with a fast start from Man City. The goals were inevitable. And it's a very simple textbook trade in the end. I wish they were all as easy as this. So hopefully this video has definitely given you more of an idea of the main dangers of AI and just how to avoid them, because so many people are using AI to trade football with these days. However, many are doing it completely wrong. As said, many are outsourcing their brain, their full brain, to the AI and just following it blindly. Don't do that. Always keep in mind the AI is built to please you, and so you still need to be the human and make that final executive decision. The AI also can't trade live yet. However, that is all going to be down to you, and as said, following the XG and the in-play stats and using that with your football trading. But anyway, as said, if you want to give the football trading genie a go yourself, you can get a demo by clicking the link in the description of this video, scanning the QR code, and you can check it out. Absolutely great bit of kit. It saves you a huge amount of time with regards to your pre-match research. As said, you just click the button. It's going to tell you what it believes to be the most optimal trade into the market. And then you decide, do you like the sound of it or do you want to avoid? You don't have to follow every single trade, and you can skip around and find the trades which you do like the sound of and follow those. Simple as that. So anyway, as said, click the link in the description of this video or scan the QR code. So that was one particular video with football trading and AI. There should be another one on the screen right now, which is just as good. I strongly suggest you go grab another nice cold beer, and I'll see you in the next video.